Hi, thank you for listening to Reverse Investment Channel. I'm Chi Yao. Let's put all derivatives book aside and only talk about the debt problem. So, neglecting any effect of the derivatives currently in our system. And start with some statistics. According to Forbes article on April 18th of this year, the debt to GDP ratio figures, including all credit instruments, US, EU, Japan, and China, ratios stood at 370, 457, 615, and 350%. Now, the stats is astonishing. The question comes down to, can our economy outgrow the existing debt? The current Keynesian economics, which is adopted by governments and central bankers around the world, believes that if we keep increasing spending, the growth rate of the GDP can outpace the growth rate of our debt. This is nonsense. First of all, it is the increase in productivity that drives the economy. The only reason our society is richer than 100 years ago is because we spend capitals to invent better products and innovate the way to produce products more efficient and more effective. If we only spending money buying goods and no one is investing, we will never enjoy the technology we have now. And second, if someone is spending money they don't have, someone else must save the money. Even if the central banks monetize the debt, the real terms of the money wouldn't change. The nominal gets diluted away. The point is, if we don't innovate, the real economy stays the same. And besides, once the borrowing stops, or lenders are not willing to lend, the economic collapse. The borrowers only feel temporarily prosper, but the risks of default shift to the lenders. Let's assume our neighbor A is the lender and neighbor B is the borrower. So in the beginning, neighbor B can live a luxury life, and neighbor A has to save the money for neighbor B. But one day, the neighbor A will wake up and decide to stop lending money to neighbor B. Not only the neighbor B will lose his luxury lifestyle, but his house, to pay back the interest to neighbor A. The neighbor A's economic situation is always healthier than the neighbor B. If the government really believes the spending plan can work, I'd be the best Treasury Secretary. My proposal is that having one person staring at another person and getting paid by the government, or doing nothing and getting paid, or to make sure people have jobs, have people break old windows wherever they go, so window producers can have jobs, and see if this actually works. Or to make it extreme, evacuate the people from the city and tear down the entire city and rebuild. That surely can put lots of people to work. Can the society benefit from this? No. It ends up the same or even worse because you devote productive workers to do unproductive jobs. The real economy will shrink. Our real economic problem is too many resources are allocated to dilute our productivity by overtaxation, regulation, and spending. That's why the living standard is declining, and that's why the average people are suffering. And one paycheck is no longer enough to support a family. And that's the situation the government lies us into. That's why our economy will never outgrow our debt from spending. Imagine if we had borrowed 3.5 times what we earned, and the economy is still this bad. What will happen if we stop borrowing, or the lender stop lending us money? And imagine if at the beginning of the Great Depression, we had the total debt level of 180%. How bad it is going to be. To wrap it up, the more we deviate from the natural balance, the more severe the economic outcome will be. We need to have free market and some money to restore the natural balance, and until then, we will have a healthy economy. Thank you for listening to Rivers Investment Channel. I'm Chi Yao, signing out for now.